These are boys that will be doing duty for the country, green and gold. At the end of the day, one says that's what matters. They're there, they've been chosen, there's nothing we can do about it now. What is your take on that team?
Well, that's the coach's team. And there's nothing that we can do now. We just have to support the team because the players do need it. It's not about right and wrong. It's about the guys who will be on the field now and do the duty for us.
We asked you, Coach, to choose your 15, so to speak, or your match 23. Let's take a quick look at it. I know we do have a graphic of it. And take us through your thoughts behind those particular plays. What would you have done maybe differently as far as Coach Heineke Meyer's squad is concerned? Let's start there. I think those are the fours. You got Tendai.
Yeah, before we get to that team, there's a few...
We have a technical problem there in Cape Town where Tabiso is talking to various guests about the issue of transformation in rugby, and we're hopefully trying to get that link back up again. But it is a hot topic and it's been quite a sensitive one. And you've got South Africans on both sides of the coin. Do you, 20 years down the road, accept that maybe it takes a long time to get everybody into the sport?
And it's coming at an important time now when the Rugby World Cup is on, and this issue has not been put to bed, it's not been put to rest, and the issue of transformation in rugby remains a sticking point. Lots of South Africans have been airing their views on social media and been venting in many cases about the lack of transformation, saying that somehow you need to compromise and be more inclusive. Others are saying you don't want to compromise quality of players, especially at an important time like this. Let's now go back to Cape Town and join that debate.
So I went for him and I went for Peter Steve the Toys because he's the buckies of old, the most aggressive one. Elizabeth isn't that aggressive. We all think he is, but he's not. He stole more balls, he ran in the back line, he never cleaned, so he's not that aggressive. And then I went for Kolisi with at number 7. Flo, number 6, and Skalberger, number 8.
So it doesn't look that too different as far as what Coach Heineke Meyer chose. I mean, it's relatively the same with the exception of maybe one or two players. Your backline, as far as that's concerned.
With Sia, the reason why I went with Sia,
Kolisi, yes.
I believe that whenever you make a replacement, it should take the team to a higher level, and I believe that Willem Alberts is that kind of player. Who will bring that X factor at the last 20 minutes because he's so strong. He can take it further. So that's why I went for Sia, and Sia will never leave the team down. And Sia is one of those players who, with the other three, can fit in and make them a complete combination. I mean,
it's proven himself as well for Province. I mean, that he is probably one of the go-to.
I think all of them have proved themselves to be there.
Yeah.
So it's not about proving themselves, but he is the one guy who can play that link that we need so much, especially in the lineouts. And from taking the ball from Skalk and bring everybody else in the game. Let's
go to the back line quickly, Coach, before we move on to Murray as well. Your back line, what does it look like?
Well, I went for Zane Kersner, and then because I need some finishes and speed on the wings, I went for Wally Leroux and Luwazi. Damien and John, I'm not very happy with both of them, but Damien is more 12, and John is a 13. We've got now two 13s playing together. I don't think that Pat Lambie is going to come off with those two 12s or 13s as a 12. And then I went for Rudy Page because he was the best scrum-off. He can organize very, very quick and he can clean when it matters. And the one thing is he takes that one step that occupies and keeps the defense honest around the fringes. So, yeah, that was the team.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through to Murray. Well, Coach, we're going to come back to your team as well and dissect it. Murray, let's take a quick look at yours. You look at Coach Heineke Meyer's squad. And let's look at yours. What are the differences? Why did you choose your team as compared to that one?
There's no major differences. I mean, there's a few personnel differences. I think the big thing for me was the back line. I think having Zane at fullback and not having Damien at centre is a big loss for me. So I put Willie at fullback and Damien at centre. I think throughout the Super Rugby season and the last couple of seasons, Willie's been phenomenal at fullback, and Damien for me was the best attacking player that we had in our backline, and he brought a lot of impetus to our backline.
Let's quickly, that's your forward. Those are your first state, so to speak. You know, Tendai, Beast, Trevor Nyakani is what you have instead of the other Duplessis brother, Yevon, Luke de Jong, Francois Lowe, Sia Colise as well, agreeing with the coach, as well as Skalkberger at 8. Happiness with that?
Yeah, I mean, Trevor was a bit of a left field selection, and I just felt like if there was a time to try him at tight end, it would be against Japan. Obviously, you don't want to experiment at a World Cup, but I just think that personally he should have had a chance earlier. I went with the lock pairing because I think Lewitt made a big impression when he came on in the Four Nations series, and you know he made some big tackles and was quite physical, which was quite unexpected actually. I think he's the kind of player that when he's fit and he's not injured, he's had a lot of injuries. He's really come to the fore. So, and that's why I also put Sia at flank, because I thought we'd have two big physical locks. And you know, Japan, I think Heineke alluded to it, that they have a lot of phase play. They play quickly, and I thought having a fetcher like Francois and having Sia in the pack with him, and then the same thing with Willem coming off with and making some big hits and some big carries with 20 minutes to go would be a good selection. Again, not too different from Coach Peter de Villiers, as you said, fairly straightforward. Looks like the one Heineke Meyer has. Let's move over now to Bob Michael. Bob Michael, your team, are you happy with your team that you've chosen? Anyone in particular that probably stood out for you that you would like to see?
Yeah, I'm happy because Zayn, to me, is a good fullback. You know, he can overlap, you know, when the time they pass the ball, so he can overlap. Then the ball, he must come to Mvovo, because Mvovo has got a speed, you know, to score a try, you know, so I like him, you know, like John de Villiers, he created tries, you know, to be there, then he give Brian Abana, you know, so that back line much better to win the game.
In your forward pack, not to Tingham, you tend to probably agree.
The fourth line, well, Sia, it's a great flank, you know, he can move up front, you know, when he's got the ball, you know, like Francois Lowe is also, you know, has a good loose trio, you know, like Ezekbet, he can jump to the line out, you know, to bring the ball, you know, then the piece is a good fully support, you know, on the line out, you know.
So basically, what I'm picking up from our panelists, there's not much difference from what Coach Heineke Meyer has chosen, given that these are the players that are chosen, the 31-man squad that went over to England. What I'm going to do, we're going to take a quick break right here on the show. Then we come back, we've got a lovely audience, so I'd like to bring as well, get their views, because it seems that we're in agreement that we need to support this team. This is the one that's doing duty for us at the World Cup. As long as they're flying the green and gold, we'll support them. When you come back, we have a chit-chat with our audience, see what they got to say, what their views are as far as this is concerned, because obviously we're here to have fun, and obviously it's about you at home and you in our audience. So we'll take a quick break. It's a special broadcast brought to you by SABC News Channel. We're down in Cape Town, Sea Point, to speak in rugby transformation. Stay with us. We continue after this.
The road to greatness is not an easy one. It's rough, tough, and full of barriers. And there's only one way to master it. Never, ever stop. Dauntless, the all-new Audi Q7.
Victory requires intense effort and teamwork. When you get to it, there is no turning back, because all eyes are on you. When it's action time, nothing should stand in your way. Sports Live tackles and analyzes all the sport action. This is the home of all your sport news, updates, and more. Sports Live weekdays at 8:30 p.m.
Welcome to Network, a technology news program that also discusses what's trending in social media in and around Africa. MTN has launched its new movie and television streaming service, Front Row. If it's trending, we will find it. That's Network with me, Spumelele Zondi, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on the SABC News Channel.
Get behind Rugby World Cup 2015 on SABC.
Welcome back. You're still watching special broadcast coming to you from our Sea Point studios in Cape Town. We speak in rugby and transformation. Do we do enough, or are we probably just moaning because it's rugby season, it's Rugby World Cup season, and therefore if we elevate those moans a little bit, somebody will listen. We speak, well, I've got a panelist right here, former coach of the Springboks, Peter de Villiers, Mary Ingram, as well as Baba Michael Pasia, speaking to us about their thoughts on the matter. We've also got a beautiful audience who we're going to chat to right now. I think the question I'm going to put to our audience, we've really got two hands waiting for us, what their views are on, not necessarily this particular team, what their views are on transformation as a whole. Are we making too much noise sometimes, or should we say, if you want a winning team, let them be, because if the Springboks come back, maybe nobody will be complaining about whether they transformed or not. Let's take our first guest. Sir, please, if you can probably stand up and have a chat to us.
My name is Rudy October, and if I look at the two teams from Peter de Villiers and Mary Ingram, and I also look at the squad for Japan, then I think that Heineke Meyer already started on the wrong foot. He could have picked the scrum of Rudy Page, not because my name is Rudy. Yeah. You see, the problem is we have to distribute our strength across 4 matches. Now, I believe that the Samoan match is going to take a lot of energy from the guys. So what will happen now, if one of the guys get injured, Rudy Page will be called upon in the second match against Samoa. We must not just think about the first match. We must think as how we're going to allocate our resources. So my other problem that I have, okay, that is now my only criticism as far as Heineke Meyer team is concerned, okay? Then if I look at Mary Ingram, then we look at captains. Now, I think you will argue that in his team, you will go for Skalkberger. Now, the problem is that Skalkberger, to me, is a risk player, which means that he's always falls prey to the referees. Mm-hmm. And he may get a penalty, or not a penalty, a penalty, of course, and then he may be sent off for 10 minutes. And then who's going to be the captain? Okay? So I'm not happy with your selection. Okay? Right. So I'm happy with Rudy Pate, but I still think that Damien de Allende must be saved. He's a strong guy, but not against Japan. They must, Peter must rather go for the smaller one, Jesse Kriel. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot for the time being.
Thank you very much. Have we got another question? We've got on our far right over there. Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Ibrahim Hall. I think Heineke Meyer went for the strongest team here. There's no two ways about that. He's put his strongest team onto the field, and I think he's got 4 players of color in here, in his team, and of course 2 on the bench. I've also noticed that the panelists have chosen basically the players from the squad. Now, we're talking about transformation. I'm going to ask the question to the panelists. Who do they think should have been in the squad and could have possibly been in this team on Saturday that is not there. Accounting for transformation, of course, and integration. And the acceleration of transformation, obviously. Thank you.
That's a good question. In fact, that is part of our topic tonight. Coach, let's start right there. Murray, Coach, who do I take first?
Well, the
question of Rudy Page. I mean, you mentioned Rudy as well in your lineup. Interesting aspect, or interesting looking from the first gentleman. Rudy Page, did Heineke choose his strongest team? And I think it comes back to that question again, Coach, that we had before you came on air. What does a coach do in this instance? You've got 7 matches, which essentially are a final. Do you choose your best team? Is this the best of the best? Because you want to make a statement first up, beat Japan, 100-0 up if you can, to set the ball rolling as far as the World Cup's concerned.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking, but get yourself into a position where you know you have qualified for the semis or the quarters, and then you give the other guys a chance to play. Or play your best team. If that is the best team, it will differ from person to person. Combinations is now very, very important. We started this World Cup on a back foot. A lot of injured players, not a lot of guys who had game time. So if you want to get the combinations going, you go for the people that you think that will be valuable for you going to the quarterfinals.
Most of this hasn't worked, though. I mean, we come off a disastrous championship rugby tournament. So the question is, does the coach even, is he settled? Because surely that must be weighing on the back of his mind. What does he do? Or do we read anything into that at all?
Yeah, you know, you get to a territory where you have to satisfy people. You come with another explanation. I almost said lie. You come with another explanation so that you can make it work for yourself. You're quite right. The Rudy Page thing is a burning point. He's there. We had to select from the squad. Give him a chance, see how he goes. And if he's good enough, then you've got the luxury to play any of the other 2 off the bench, you know. I will go for Ruan because he can actually fill in for more than one position. So he'll be brilliant off the bench. But yeah, he opted to go for that team. Now it's water under the bridge. We just have to now rally behind the team and give the boys the confidence that we believe in them.
Murray, as far as you're concerned, I mean, you at development structures, your development level, this is sort of like a headache that you deal with on a daily basis. You've got this pool of talent. Some of it raw, some of it untouched, some of it general, and it just needs to be molded here and there. Like the coach has said, do you go for a combination where you say, look, these 3, these 4 play well together, they bring out the best out of each other? Or do you say to the coach, well, the coach has chosen the people that he knows, they've done duty for him before, they haven't had the best results of late, but let's see what happens?
I think that's part of the problem in the build-up. If you look at our rugby championship and compared to New Zealand, I think they had, for me, a lot clearer picture of how they were going to blood new players. And I think the gamble that Heineke has taken on using a lot of players that were injured in the build-up is quite a big gamble, and it hopefully pays off for him. But it is disruptive, and it makes blooding players like Rudy Page difficult. And I think that's one of the things that I'm concerned about going into the championship is have we had a good rotation policy? I was looking at the New Zealand squad, how they used certain players that didn't end up making it, and how they'd sent them back into their provincial championships and given them game time. We've got a lot of players like Fruity Pre that haven't played for 7 months. So it's a difficult selection question to answer, and all the best to Heineke for it.
Even begs the question, a lot of people saying, but why did Jean de Villiers even make the flight there? 2 weeks ago, we had a fractured jaw. Miraculously, he's healed and he's captain of the team. He's going to start. Is it maybe a favor that the coach or the staff are carrying with him, saying, look, he's been there, he has not played in the previous World Cups. Everyone thought that he should have. Because realistically, I mean, if Jean de Villiers is injured 2 weeks ago with a fractured jaw, has he made fully recovered to
Can I come in there? And that way it brings in your president of the union. He needs to sign off the team. Those are the kind of questions that he and his board had to ask to the coach beforehand. So before they sign off the team, before you announce the team, these questions has been answered. And because they didn't get involved, because they didn't want to get involved, I don't know why, we sit in this dilemma that we are now. It won't give us any answers. Sure, I don't want to be in issues.
Yeah. Just for the people at home who are watching as well as our audience, we did invite SA Rugby to join us. Unfortunately, they're all up in England because of the World Cup beginning next weekend. No, we promise you they are all up there, but we did speak to President of Oregan Hoskins, and we'll be playing you that clip a bit later on because we do have right of reply that we did ask him to have a chat with us about it. But we'll continue this conversation. But Michael, let me bring you in here as well. A lot of questions asked. The one question the gentleman asked there, if you were to choose outside of the 31 that went to London, who would you choose? Can we not have more than just 4 players of colour in a Springbok team in this day and age? Because if you look at Currie Cup final, not Currie Cup, rather Craven Week was contested by Western Province and Eastern Province, and I think about 70%, if not 80% of the players who played in the final were players of colour, both African and in colour in general. Can we not have more players at national team level?
Yeah, we can have more players for the sake of their spirits, you know. When we was look at Stormers games, you know, there was the games with more coloured players on the team, you know, than whites. There was less.
that, and our mindset know for the fact, and it's not us. This is out into supporting.
Speak tonight. Journalists, we also hacking, but now you got. Are we from the at schools? The media in that way, in the game, up a player. Tough, because rugby. Thank you.